If your workday feels like a bottomless lasagna, endless layers of meetings, pings, and quick favors, here's the twist. Boundaries don't make you selfish, they make you effective. The truth? Nobody taught us boundary setting 101. Instead, we learned be available, be exhausted. Now the average worker gets 117 emails, 153 chats, and an interruption every 2 minutes. Late-night meetings are up 16%. No wonder evenings feel like shift 2. Boundaries aren't walls, they're guardrails that keep you from face-planting into burnout. Here are 10 research-backed practical ways to set them without guilt. Number 10. Name your non-negotiables. Think of your non-negotiables as the Wi-Fi password to your best work, focus blocks nobody touches, a lunch where you actually chew, and a hard stop before just one more email eats your evening alive. Put them on your calendar like meetings with your scariest client. Science backs you up. A PLOS1. Meta-analysis found structured time management boosts both performance and well-being. That 90-minute focus block isn't indulgent, it's evidence-based adulting. And if someone tries to book over it, don't slam the door. Use the yes if trick. Yes, if we move it to 2:30. Yes, if we only tackle points A and B. You're not rejecting people, you're just negotiating like a boss. Number 9. Write a team communication charter. Half of workplace stress comes from not knowing if a Slack ping is a fire drill or just Karen sharing another dog gif. Enter the communication charter. Harvard Business Review says to set crystal clear rules, like emails answered within 24 hours, chats within a few hours, and no one is expected to reply at 10 p.m., unless your office is on fire, in which case, carry on. Why? Because of email urgency bias, that delightful quirk where we assume everyone expects an instant reply. The cure? Slap on a not urgent, reply tomorrow. 3 words that save your teammate from brushing their teeth with one hand while drafting an apology email with the other. With a charter, your team goes from chaotic group chat to actual orchestra, less panic, more harmony. Number 8. Master the graceful no. Saying no often feels like refusing a puppy, but a clear, kind no is not cruelty. It's clarity. Harvard Business Review has long emphasized that declining work diplomatically prevents overload and ultimately makes you more reliable. The trick is to sound like a collaborator, not a wall. Instead of blurting, "Nope," try, "I can take this on. Which of my current priorities should we push back to make room?" Or, "I can help, but only if we narrow it to X and Y this week." Or, "I'm not the best person for this, but Sam is closest to the problem." Even, "I can jump in for 20 minutes this afternoon, does that help?" These kinds of responses shift the conversation from unlimited demands to realistic choices. You're not the office Grinch. You're the traffic cop keeping cars from piling up. Number 7. Make meetings. Earn their calendar invite. Meetings, the Bermuda Triangle of time. Studies show that up to 1/3 of them are unnecessary and that 68% of employees lack enough focus time as a result. Worse, 60% of meetings aren't even scheduled in advance, they're ambushes. The result is chaos, panic editing slides at the last minute, and the creeping suspicion that your job title should be professional Zoom attendee. But here's the good news. Companies that experimented with meeting-free days saw productivity skyrocket by nearly 70% and stress levels drop. The sweet spot seems to be about 3 days per week with no meetings at all. Even if your organization isn't ready for that, you can enforce smaller policies. Decline invites without agendas. Default to shorter time slots and shrink the attendee list to only the people who actually matter. And if you want a snappy slogan to justify declining, try this rhyme. No agenda, no attenda. Number 6, put tech on your side. Delay. Send is a boundary. Technology can bulldoze your boundaries or guard them with velvet ropes. It all depends on how you use it. Features like delay send in your email prevent you from pinging colleagues at midnight and unintentionally creating panic. Tools like do not disturb let you carve out real focus blocks without constant Slack pings. Even status messages can save your sanity. In focus block, back at 2 p.m., is a polite way of saying, don't you dare interrupt me while I'm coding. And science is on your side here too. Remember those interruptions every 2 minutes? That's not a badge of honor. That's death by 1,000 notifications. Boundaries become a lot easier when your tech is configured to fight for you, not against you. Number 5, leverage policy. Sometimes the cavalry arrives in the form of actual law. Australia rolled out a national right to disconnect law, giving employees the explicit right to ignore work communications after hours unless refusal is unreasonable. France has had a version of this since 2017. Even if you don't live in a country with such protections, the principle is worth importing. Imagine a company policy that says no one is expected to reply after hours. If it's urgent, call, and if we're having lots of urgencies, we need an on-call system. Suddenly, ignoring that 11 p.m. Slack message isn't rebellion, it's compliance. Boundaries don't just protect individuals, they can reshape entire workplace cultures when embedded in policy. Number 4, reframe the guilt. That stab of guilt you feel when you decline a request, it's normal, but it's also a trick of the brain. Organizational psychology research shows that cognitive reappraisal, basically reframing what an emotion means, can dramatically reduce guilt. Instead of thinking, I'm disappointing my colleague, reframe it as, I'm protecting the quality and reliability of my work. Even the American Psychological Association notes that boundaries are about safeguarding your energy so you can keep performing at a high level. Try a quick self-reminder. By saying no to this, I'm saying yes to the commitments I've already made. That's not selfish, that's integrity. Number 3, make your manager your ally. Trade visibility for clarity. Managers don't actually want you to be a martyr. They want predictability. Gallup's recent workplace surveys show that well-being is shaped more by management quality than whether you're in the office or remote. That means your best boundary strategy is to enroll your manager as a partner. Sit down and explain when you're most effective, how you're protecting that time, and exactly how they'll stay in the loop. Clarify what counts as urgent enough to break through. Most bosses will prefer this clarity over wondering if you've ghosted them. In fact, they'll probably start defending your focus time themselves. When you frame boundaries as performance systems, you don't look resistant, you look proactive. Number 2, build micro boundaries. You keep tiny habits, big relief. Big declarations like, I'll never check email after 6, often collapse under the weight of reality. That's why micro boundaries are more sustainable. For example, commit to opening only 2 browser tabs during focus time. Use an out-of-office reply that says, I'll respond during working hours, even if you're technically working from home. Align your calendar with your Slack status so people don't assume you're available when you're deep in spreadsheets. Remove work email from your phone's home screen so you aren't tempted to tap it like a slot machine. And once a week, look back at your calendar and circle the meetings that could have been emails. Those become async updates next week. These micro habits may sound silly, but together they form a powerful defense system. Number 1, solve The time zone Tetris. Global teams are wonderful until you find yourself attending a quick sync at 11 p.m. in your pajamas. Microsoft reports that nearly a third of meetings now cross time zones, and late-night ones are on the rise. But instead of sacrificing your circadian rhythm, establish 2 weekly overlap windows that work across regions. Rotate inconvenient times so one group isn't always punished. Use decision documents so contributions can happen asynchronously while others sleep. And create an urgent hours matrix so everyone knows what truly requires waking someone up versus what can wait until morning. After all, no one does their best thinking at 2 a.m. unless their job description is owl. And that's it. 10 guilt-free ways to set boundaries at work without turning into the office villain. If this video gave you a new idea, or at least an excuse to block your calendar for an actual lunch, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. See you in the next one.